For the 100% cheapest coins on the internet with reliable delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor MMOEXP by clicking the link at the top of the description and use code SWIFT at checkout for 5% off. Salsals and family, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 22 video on the channel, and in today's video, it's back lads, Wildcard Wednesday is back in the game. Now with this new promo, I guess we could call it, there's an opportunity to earn an 87 plus overall fantasy pack with what seems to be an auctionable player. Now in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to earn that pack as well as 4 other general Wildcard Wednesday tips. Now you might be wondering, what in the world is this guy talking about? What is Wildcard Wednesday? Let me give you guys a really quick explanation. Now Wildcard Wednesday is going to occur every single Wednesday, as you guys can probably tell in the title, and it's basically a way for EA to release about 4 to 8 promo specific cards. And when I say promo specific, I'm talking about things like flashbacks, heavyweights, veterans. Essentially what EA will do is they'll release like 4 to 8 of these cards every single Wednesday. You can get them with training, you can get them in packs, and they're pretty solid players to just give us some content during the week. So now let's talk about what I'm sure the majority of you guys are wondering. How do we get this 87 plus overall player pack? And honestly, it is super simple, boys. All you guys have to do is go on over to your solos, go on over to the flashback solos, and when we go to the milestones right here, as you can see, every 4 milestones, so every 20 stars, you're going to be getting a Wildcard Wednesday fantasy pack. So the first time we're going to be able to get this pack is at tier number 4. As you guys can see, at 20 stars, you get the Wildcard Wednesday fantasy pack. But to be honest, EA hasn't really done a whole ton of explaining when it comes to what's actually in the pack, so let me make some predictions about what I think this should be. Now, firstly, and very, very importantly, there is nothing on the pack that says NAT. Now, if you guys don't know, NAT stands for non-auctionable tradable, and when there's a pack from solos, either EA is typically going to say NAT in the description, so it would be like Wildcard Wednesday fantasy pack in brackets NAT, or on the pack, there will actually be messaging that says NAT on it, maybe in like the bottom left corner, or maybe on that bottom row right there. But when it comes to this pack, there is nothing that says that, so I'm assuming this is probably an auctionable player. And when it comes to actually what's inside the pack, it's pretty unclear. Here's a couple of options of what I think it could potentially be. Now, the first option is that EA literally puts every single Wildcard Wednesday card that has come out on Ultimate Team so far in this pack. You get to choose one of them, you can sell them or keep them for your squad. Option number 2, and I think this could be a cool one, is that there's a slot for each week. So there's a slot for week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4, and in each slot you get a random player from one of those weeks. So for week number 1 in that slot right now, you'd be getting one of the flashbacks that came into the game. Week number 2 would be whatever comes out next week, and so on and so forth. Or worst comes to worst, there's just like 3 players in the pack that are at random for the promo. You get to pick one and you can use them on your team or sell them. Okay, so I realized I haven't actually talked about how you guys get stars, and essentially all we're going to do is we're going into our solo challenges, and every single week, depending on what promo they put into the game, there's going to be a set of solos associated with that. So as you guys will see, the first set of solos right here is going to be our flashback challenges. It says that the challenges expire on the 1st, so that is going to be next Wednesday. You're not able to play them when the new Wildcard Wednesday solos come into the game. So you have to make sure that within a week of when the solos came out, you are playing them and you're getting these 5 stars. Now, to be honest with you guys, these solos, they are incredibly easy. You guys are going to be able to do these solos in, I would say, about 7 to 10 minutes. As you guys can see, the first one is score a passing touchdown and pass for 45 yards. That is so easy. You're on arcade mode. If you guys are struggling on these challenges, I will link my solo challenge guide down below that shows you how to beat any challenge in Ultimate Team, but honestly, these should not take you more than 10 minutes. And then once you guys have spent literally just those 10 minutes on these solos, you're already a quarter of the way there to getting our Wildcard Wednesday fantasy pack. And now additionally, when you guys beat these solos, you're going to be getting yourself a flashback power-up fantasy pack. Essentially what this is it's going to allow you to select a random power-up from any of the flashbacks that came into the game. I would expect that this is going to happen every single week except for whatever cards are active in Ultimate Team. So as you guys can see, here are the 5 options. Now I also just want to mention right here that these 3 cards, the Daniel Jones, the David Johnson, and the AJ Brown, they're selling for around 4k. These 2 cards are up for 3k, so I would recommend that you pick one of these 3 players. So we'll take Daniel Jones right here. This is just free from doing the solo challenges. I'm assuming the card is up for around 4k. Daniel Jones actually has some good stats on his max card, and it looks like he's actually selling for around 5k, so this actually might be the most expensive one. I know AJ Brown is fairly pricey as well, so I would personally recommend that you take Daniel Jones or you take AJ Brown. Now moving on, let's talk about another tip right here that is associated with prices, whether they're going to go up or whether they're going to go down when Wildcard Wednesday is in the game. Now this is an important thing to know, because if you guys have a lot of cards in your binder from pack openings or from random stuff that you've earned in Ultimate Team, you guys want to know if it's a good day or a bad day to sell them off on a Wednesday. Now here's how you're going to decide if it's a good day or a bad day to sell off your players. If when we get Wildcard Wednesday, there are very wanted players that have good stats, it is a good day to sell off your cards. So let me explain to you guys why. So as you guys will see, we're in the store right here, and we are in the training section of the store. And as you guys will see, the easiest way possible to get whatever player came into the game on Wildcard Wednesday is through training packs. This pack right here is costing you 1800 training, and you get an 87 plus overall flashback. So if there's a card that people really want that came out into the game, a lot of people are going to be opening this pack up to try and obtain that player. And when that happens, the price of training goes up. And if training goes up, the price of the market generally goes up as well. Training is basically the way of getting a gauge of the market. If training is going up, prices are generally going up. If training is going down, prices are generally going down. So obviously, if the price of training is going up, the prices of cards in the market are going up, and then you want to get on that train and you want to sell off your players while they're more expensive because they could easily go down in a couple of days, and they probably would go down on like a Friday or a Saturday. So yeah, that's my recommendation there. Definitely be sure to stay on the lookout, and whenever we get these new promos in the game for Wildcard Wednesday, if there's good players within the promo, I would definitely recommend that you guys consider going ahead and selling off some of the cards in your binder. Okay, so now let's talk about tip number 4, and that is going to be sniping, boys. Now, when Wildcard Wednesday comes into the game, there's actually a solid opportunity to snipe some cards. Now, here is my recommendation when it comes to sniping. What I'd recommend you guys do, especially if you're a newer sniper, is put the program to flashbacks or whatever the new players are in the game, and then set your filter down to all offense or to all defense. Now, what this will do is make it a lot more digestible and a lot easier to snipe these players. So here's my advice. You want to write down the prices of every single card that is going to show up in this filter. So as you guys will see, we have Daniel Jones, we have David Johnson, and we have AJ Brown. So as you guys will see, when it comes to David Johnson right here, this card is selling for a price of around 94k. I'm going to subtract 10k off of that price to get some solid profit margin, and essentially my target price for David Johnson is going to be about 84,000 coins. Now, same thing with AJ Brown. I'm going to target about 82k or less for the card because he's selling for 92. And then when it comes to Daniel Jones right here, it looks like he's up for around 160. I will subtract 20k to get a solid profit margin on this card, because obviously when you sell off your player, you are going to lose 10% to EA tax. So 140 for Daniel Jones. We have about 85 for the other two cards right here. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to set my filter to newest, and I'm going to refresh on this filter. Now, with so many people pulling these cards and selling them off really quickly, there are going to be some solid opportunities when someone's going to put up a card for a really good deal, and you can go ahead and make that buy, make that purchase, and make a solid snipe. Now, again, like I said, a lot of people are pulling these cards out of packs. Every single time I refresh on this filter, there are new players popping up. We know we want David and AJ for a price of around 84, Daniel Jones at a price of 140. That would work, but unfortunately this one we can only bid on. So that's kind of my tip right there. I would say sniping is actually pretty solid, especially on the day that Wildcard Wednesday comes into the game. And of course, if you are a little bit more advanced and you're a bit better at sniping, you don't need to just do all offense or all defense. You can go ahead right here and you can actually just set the filter to all, and you're going to see all the cards that are popping up. As we can see, there's going to be some defensive players. I think Minka Fitzpatrick's up for 130, so we want 110 for him. And then David Irving, again, we're going to want a price, I think, around like 80k for David Irving. So yeah, that's basically how it's going to work right here, boys. As you can see, there's just so much activity on this filter. 110 is what we want for Minka Fitzpatrick, not 120. I almost made that buy right there, but yeah, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to scroll down and leave a like. You're going to be getting an 87 plus overall player. That's the most important part of this video, but I hope you guys did enjoy this one, and until next time, I'm out. Peace.